Hey guys, it's Steve here, global makeup artist with Urban Decay, and today I'm on here to show you guys everything all-nighter and the power of all-nighter as well. So for those of you who don't typically use a setting spray, let's say in the morning you're getting ready, you're doing your makeup, whether it's just a light BB cream for the office or a full beat, you want to make sure that you're constantly setting at the end of your routine, because this way your makeup not only is going to last all day, but you're not going to have to worry about it smudging, smearing, or rubbing off throughout the day as well. And it also prevents you from having so much maintenance and touch-ups throughout the day. Also, with setting your makeup, it's going to allow you to be as flawless as when you first applied it to hours later. You don't want to be out all in the middle of the day and your makeup is melting off. When you're taking that time to apply your makeup, whether it's 5 minutes or an hour, you want to make sure that your makeup stays on and is perfect all day long. So with our setting spray, it's the only setting spray on the market that has a temperature control technology. And what that means is that when you're based off of your surrounding, when you're outside, your makeup's not going to melt when it's hot and your makeup's not going to cake when it's cold. Also, it has a really cool microfine 360 mist technology, so you're going to get perfect even spray and application every single time, so that spray is hitting your face in every single point, so that your makeup stays flawless all day long. And on top of that, once you set your makeup, it's going to stay on for 16 hours, so you can hop on a plane, go hang out all night. When you wake up in the morning, everything still looks flawless. So with our setting spray, I want to show you guys a quick little hack. I've been with Urban Decay now for 11 years, and majority of my time with the brand, I was in our sales field. And this is something all of our beauty advisors would do and show their clients and also retailers, to show you guys the true staying power of all-nighter. So I'm going to take our Naked Flush palette, and I'm going to swipe my arm. I'm going to swipe this guy too. Okay, so I'm going to take all-nighter and I'm going to set one side. And then I'm going to leave this side bare. And later on, once it dries down, we'll come back and I'll show you how all-nighter lasts all day and the staying power of this bad boy. Okay, so while that's drying down, we're going to now get into showing you guys some of my favorite hacks using this spray, because it is not just a setting spray, it does so much more. Okay, so first off, I like to spray just clean, bare skin once you've cleansed and moisturized. I'm going to use a little bit of our all-nighter. I'm going to spray down the face, almost treating it as like a primer, so I'm using all-nighter to prime the skin, and then we're going to go in with foundation. So next I'm going to take my Urban Decay Beauty Sponge, and I'm going to spray it with all-nighter as well. This way, not only is the sponge going to get damp, but it's going to allow my product to really press into the skin and stay on all day. Okay, I'm going to give that a couple squeezes. And then I'm going to go in with our Stay Naked foundation. I'm going to apply about one pump in my hand.
Hey Steve, what shade is she?
She is going to be a 60 NN. So I'm going in with my sponge, and I'm going to start, just going to start my application in a patting motion. Because my sponge is soaked in all-nighter, not only is it going to give me a really smooth laydown, but it's going to allow the product to really sink into the skin and wear all day. So it gives you that nice extra wearing power as well. If you're someone who likes light to medium coverage, you can go ahead and just give it a nice sheer stippling. And if you have target areas where you want a little bit more coverage, you can go ahead and just really focus and stipple and build up that coverage in those areas.
Hey Steve, someone wants to know how much is all-nighter setting spray?
So all-nighter setting spray is $33. If you're someone who likes full coverage and sometimes your foundation looks a little too heavy, all-nighter will also help diffuse that and give it slight hydration because of the mist. So that'll help your foundation look smoother and lay down a lot softer.
So Steve, is this only for Stay Naked foundation, or can they use their own foundation? Do they even need the foundation?
Yeah, you can do this method with any foundation, whether it's full coverage, lightweight, or you can use it if you're someone who just likes to wear concealer throughout the day, or just a little bit of a BB cream or a tinted moisturizer. Now we're going to apply just a little under the eyes as well.
We're getting some questions. Is it good for acne-prone skin?
Yes, All Nighter is great for all skin types. It's made for combination skin, so whether you're acne prone, oily, dry, anyone can use All Nighter. Okay, so now that we've had a nice even application using our sponge drenched in All Nighter, we're going to go ahead and set the skin. So I'm going to go ahead and use our all-nighter setting powder. This is one shade, translucent, so it's great for all skin tones. Anyone can use this. I'm going to go ahead and take my powder brush, and I'm going to set the skin. So all-nighter powder is such a great product to have in your kit. Not only does it set your makeup, whether you're wearing a concealer, a foundation, a BB cream, but it's going to make everything waterproof and last all day. You can set your complexion, and also you can set your concealer. So I'm going to use this, look up for me, right under the eyes as well.
Can we remind fans what foundation you used?
So I applied Stay Naked foundation in shade 60NN. And now I'm going in and setting with our all-nighter powder. So again, this powder not only mattifies you and can be used as a touch-up powder throughout the day to absorb the oil, but it locks everything in and it makes it waterproof. Okay, so now that we've prepped the skin, we're going to go ahead and apply a little bit of color. I'm going to go back in with my flush palette that I swatched on my arm and just give Kelly a little bit of a warm glow. I'm going to use our bronzer just to warm her skin up. And I love applying bronzer with more of a powder brush. This way you're getting a nice, even sun-kissed bronze all throughout the cheek so that you don't have a harsh line. So again, I love using bronzer more of as a means of warming up the skin. So I'm applying it nicely, just nice gentle pats all throughout the cheek, a little along the hairline, and just around the jaw. And add a little tint of blush right on the apple of the cheek.
So someone wants to know, does all-nighter setting spray work with mineral makeup and dry foundation as well?
Yeah, all-nighter setting spray works with all types of makeup. Whether it's mineral makeup, dry, oily, a little bit of dewy foundation, you can use it with anything. It won't change the consistency of your product. It just helps it lay down smoother and wear all day.
So for everyone who's just joining us, what we're doing is Steve is going to apply a full face of makeup to Kelly, our model, and he's using a bunch of different all-nighter setting spray hacks to do it. So enjoy.
Okay, so next I go ahead and use all-nighter to spray the skin. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply my highlighter while the skin is still damp. This way, it immediately, look at that. That is so gorgeous. It immediately picks up your highlight and gives you this like really dewy glow rather than just a dry powder sitting on the skin. I love spraying the skin first rather than spraying your brush and dipping it into product so that you don't change the consistency of your product. You're going and dipping in dry and applying it on skin that's already slightly damp. Okay, same thing here. We're going to spray the skin, and while it's still slightly damp, I'm going to dip into my highlight. And it's going to immediately pick it up and really melt that highlighter into the skin, giving you this like super gorgeous liquid glow. This is a great way to intensify the glow on the skin, to give you this like super dewy effect.
Yeah, even Facebook and YouTube, we are seeing that glow.
And you can see this glow from a mile away. Okay, on the bridge of the nose here. A little right above the brow. You want to hit it where the light's going to hit, all the high points.
So Julie wants to know, do you start with your face makeup or your eye makeup first?
It really depends on my mood. Sometimes if I'm going to go really light on the eyes, I'll do my base first. But if I'm going to be playing with something super smoky or a lot of color, I'll tend to do the eyes first so that I can clean up any fallout and do a really clean base afterwards. It all depends on how much time I have and my mood. Okay. So now that we have perfect glowy skin using our all-nighter in 3 different ways, I'm going to go in and use all-nighter to create a really cool foiled effect on her eyelids using our Naked Honey palette. So I'm going to use the shade Honey, and I'm going to take my honey brush and I'm going to dip it into my shadow, but first you want to use a little bit of all-nighter. And I'm going to go in and I'm just really going to grab onto that product. I'm dipping in the same area over and over again and really building that product onto my brush. And now I'm going to lay this all over the lid. And it's going to immediately give you this super creamy shadow with like a foiled effect. Really helps intensify. And you can use this with any eyeshadow and any palette. Whether your shadow is shimmery, satin, or a duotone, it'll enhance and create a super metallic effect on the eyelids. So if you have shadows at home that just aren't giving you that payoff that you want, this is a great tool to enhance and make that pigment really pop.
Remind fans what shade you're using again.
So I'm using shade Honey. It's my favorite shade in the palette.
We're gonna move in for everybody since that's what everyone's asking for, so we can really see this pigment.
Yes, and then I'm going to go ahead and take my dry blending brush on the other end and really just buff out the edges.
We have some people saying that they use this trick and it really makes their shadow pop.
Yeah, it will make eyeshadow just look so intense and make the pigment come to life. Again, look, now that our brush is wet, one swipe, you're creating almost like a liquid shadow, right? So you're taking a powdered product and wetting it, so it's going to create this really nice liquid foiled effect, but it's not going to change the consistency of the shadow. And I'm applying it more in a patting motion because I really want to build that color. Sometimes when you're playing with something that's wet and you use it in a swipe motion, it doesn't lay it down as evenly and as smoothly. So once my color is laid all over the lid, I'm just going to go ahead and use the dry side just to kind of buff out the edges so that you have a nice smooth transition. And then I'm also going to do the same thing, but I'm going to use it under the eyes, look up for me, and give her this like really pretty 360 effect. And I'm going to go in and just really blend and buff that out so that it's not as intense as it is on top. And this is such a fast and easy way to do a quick eye that's super bold and makes a nice statement, but took you 2 seconds to do. I'm just going to lay that down, and again, I go in with my clean brush and really blend that out. And you have this super gorgeous golden honey eye that you can wear day, and then you can add a little bit of mascara and lashes for night. Okay, so to give her eyes a little bit of definition, one of my favorite ways to use this product is by creating my own liquid eyeliner. So you can do this with any eyeshadow that you have at home, whether it's matte, shimmery, or satin. I'm going to go ahead and use our Urban Decay Pro Precise Liner Brush. I'm going to go ahead and wet my liner brush. I'm going to use the shade Sting. So I'm going to go ahead and dip that in here and start to create my own liquid liner. I always test it out on my hand first to check the consistency because you don't want it to be too watered down. That looks pretty perfect. I'm going to go in and create my perfect wing.
We have a lot of people asking what highlighter you used.
I use the highlighter in our Naked Flush palette in shade Streak. Close that a little bit more.
Steve, will this trick use it for all types of brushes?
Yeah, you can use it with any liner brush, angled brush, or any brush that you're comfortable with when doing your own eyeliner. Okay, close. Again, I just went back in and I really want to intensify it. This way, you're creating a liquid eyeliner by using powder, but it's also going to lock it in and make the liner wear for 16 hours as well.
So remind fans what you use to wet the brush again.
Okay, so we're going to go in with our all-nighter setting spray. And I'm going to dip into my Sting Shadow. Again, you don't have to use a matte shade. I'm using a matte shade because I already applied a shimmer on the lid, so I want some kind of contrast. But if you want to do matte lids and do some shimmer as a liner, you can do that as well. Honey makes an incredible liner, not only just the shadow.
So fans are asking if they can use water instead.
I don't recommend just using water because it's going to melt your product. It's not going to make it last. You have to think all-nighter works almost like an adhesive, right? It's going to not only give it that liquid texture, but it's going to lock it in and keep it the way it looks. If you're just going to use water, it's immediately going to melt right after. See? Okay. So now that I slightly have the shape, I'm going to go in and just really build it up. I always like to create a nice shape to my liner and make sure that it's even on both sides before I go ahead and finish it off and intensify it. Beautiful. So next up, we're gonna go ahead and create faux freckles, and this is a really cool and new trend that's happening. So another really fun way to use our eyeshadow palettes in a more conventional way. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing. I'm gonna take the same brush that I just used, our precision liner brush, but I have a clean one here. And I'm gonna go ahead and just spray this guy. And I'm going to dip into the shade Drip. I'm just going to start creating little faux freckles. We're going to start a little lighter. And I'm just going to kind of pat that in. And they don't have to be perfect, they don't have to be even because freckles aren't. So again,
Getting so many hearts on this guy. It's so cute.
I kind of just place them wherever I kind of want. They don't have to be in the same formation. It's like a little constellation of freckles. And then sometimes I'll go ahead and take my powder brush and kind of pat them down. This will make them look a little bit more realistic. Then we're gonna go in with just like little baby ones, and you can use it dry as well with the leftover all-nighter.
Just to remind everybody, Steve has created this full look using Urban Decay product and mixing it with his favorite hacks using all-nighter setting spray.
Yeah, you guys, we've used All Nighter to apply our foundation. We've used it to intensify our highlight. We've used it to create this foil effect on the eyeshadow. I used it to create this liquid liner using our matte shadow. And now we're finishing off with a little bit of a faux freckle. So now that she has a complete look, okay, we can go in and now we're gonna lock in the entire thing so that it wears all day long with our All Nighter setting spray. I do a quick X and a T. Or you can add a little bit more if you want to be extra like me. Okay, guys. So this entire look was created using our all-nighter setting spray in 6 different ways. Okay, so before I forget, remember earlier we swatched our Naked Flush on both arms, and I used, see, it's all over my shirt. This was the arm that I didn't use my setting spray, so you can see it completely rubbed right off.
And all over your shirt.
And all over myself. This arm, we set it with all-nighter setting spray. You guys, I'm rubbing that stuff down, and look at that. The wear power of all-nighter is incredible. This arm completely washed off within seconds, and this arm is perfectly intact, showing you the wearing power of all-nighter. Sometimes it's hard to believe once you put it on. You're like, oh, what did this spray do? I can't even see the effects of it. But showing it on your arm that the product stays in place is pretty incredible, and it shows you how important it is to set your makeup and why you need all-nighter setting spray.
And that liner too, I mean, you got that leftover liner.
You guys, it will not budge. You're basically taking a eyeshadow and creating a waterproof eyeliner using our setting spray. So again, remember, All Nighter is the only setting spray on the market that has that temperature control technology. So based off of your surrounding, makeup's not gonna melt or it's not gonna crack. It has that 360 mist, so you get an even application every single time, and it wears up to 16 hours. So if there's one thing you need in your makeup vanity, it has to be All Nighter, because you guys saw all the insane ways you can use it. So go out and get it.
Where can I get it, Steve?
So you can get it online on urbandecay.com, at Sephora, at Ulta, at Macy's, at Nordstrom, and at Belk. You can get it at the retailers.coms or in store.
Don't forget about QVC. You can get it
And QVC! Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys learned some new hacks and different ways to use your setting spray. I'll catch you next time. Bye.
That's amazing.
Good job.
We had almost 10,000 viewers.
Woo!
Wow.
I didn't even realize it was all over my shirt.
No, that was so great because you're